Hi guys, just coming up to midday Tuesday the 28th of May. Relatively quiet morning as the markets, people coming back into the markets. So after a bank holiday weekend here in the UK and Memorial Day in the US, so people start to come in and filter the over weekend news. We had the European elections, of course Theresa May stepping down last week, so we'll have a quick look at the odds. And also the calendar for the week ahead, which you can see on my right hand side. Trump in Japan, so there's one to be aware of with the time difference for when he may come out and start tweeting. Also throughout the week we've got the Bank of Canada rate decision tomorrow, which will be the main highlight, and then we do have some further sort of Chinese data onto Friday and some US numbers out as well, which offer the best opportunity, I would say, from a data point. With Memorial Day yesterday, non-farm payrolls being next week. Just on Theresa May leaving, just have a quick look over the favourites at the moment for the job. You've got Boris Johnson leading the way, Gove second, who both, along with Raab and Hunt, really preferring the no deal scenario, which is slightly halting the pound up, you would say, stopping any further push higher for now. Also keeping an eye intraday on this trend line that we broke through yesterday, and just keeping an eye with the pivot, the high of the morning as well, for any potential upside to continue. That would really have to push higher. Keeping as well a look at the low that we had back on Friday. If that was to break down, then you may well start to see a further push lower, and then suddenly you get people looking at the 126 handle on the futures, which is also a point worth looking at from the trend line from the low of 2017 to the low of this year, and also an area of support that we found at the back end of last year coming in around 126. That's somewhere I would still have marked up on the chart. Equities this morning, relatively range bound now. We did push lower to Friday's low, found a bit of support around there. But now I would say we're just starting to get squeezed in from both directions. You can see from the high up here on the 16th, price is getting squeezed in. Any push to the upside, you would really want that and Friday's high to go. To the downside, this trend line which starts at the 25th of April, or was that April? Or March I should say, a break of that and things could start to get interesting. And 27.90 I know is still an area that people would be looking at, but contained for now within the range from Friday's high to Friday's low, with S1 and R1 today. Perhaps worth seeing what happens around the cash open as volumes comes back into the market. For oil as well, just having a look here, you can see the R1 looks quite an interesting level of resistance, or at least an area where you'd expect some decent price action. You've got the trend line that comes into play starting from the break that we had on Thursday, which obviously a very big push down, 5% move to the downside. Also from Friday's highs, you can see that marks up quite well around that. To the downside, if we were to get continuation of the move lower from last week, I'll be looking at this trend line, which has held quite well for the last couple of days, including obviously this morning. If that was to break, then things could get interesting to the downside and continue what was a decent push lower last week as well. Just over the calendar for today, relatively quiet as mentioned. We've had some numbers out of Europe this morning, but not in the way that moved the market too much at all. We've got some lower tier US data in the afternoon before consumer confidence at 3, which could provide a half decent opportunity, but historically doesn't move the markets too much. Any questions, please do let me know, but I hope you all have a good trading day.